Welcome to Veridical EdTech. In the 2026-2027 digital economy, remote work is everywhere, and so are cyber threats. We're living in this globally distributed workforce where coffee shops, home offices, and even co-working spaces are essentially the new corporate headquarters. But with all this incredible freedom comes an absolutely unprecedented level of risk. And it's serious. If your digital infrastructure or your client's data lacks robust security, a single breach can completely destroy your freelance career overnight. Stay locked in right here, because mastering high-demand remote cybersecurity solutions will position you as an indispensable, high-earning security expert in the global market. Seriously, in this explainer, we're going to transform you from just a passive participant in the gig economy into a fortified elite cybersecurity architect. You'll be totally capable of securing those top-tier enterprise clients.
Okay, let's dive into this. Consider this your masterclass syllabus for upgrading your freelance career. We're looking at 1. The 2026 remote threat landscape. 2. Zero trust tools and ecosystems. 3. The client security audit workflow. 4. Securing high-ticket enterprise contracts. And finally, 5. Your first simulated security audit. So jumping right into Section 1, the 2026 remote threat landscape. We really need to unpack how this modern distributed workforce has massively expanded the attack surface for enterprises everywhere. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why clients are currently so vulnerable. Look, in the past, companies operated out of massive, centralized office buildings, right? They relied on perimeter-based, static defenses. Think of it like a medieval castle with a giant stone wall. As long as you were inside the wall, you were trusted. But in 2026, that castle has totally dissolved. Today, threats target scattered endpoints. When a remote worker connects from some unsecured coffee shop Wi-Fi, probably while spilling a latte on their keyboard, let's be real, that old static perimeter defense is utterly useless. Every single remote worker logging in from a different geographic location represents a potential backdoor into a corporate network. But here's the best part. This systemic failure is actually your lucrative opportunity to step in and modernize their defenses. Which brings us to Section 2, Zero Trust Tools and Ecosystems. Let's talk about the specific, cutting-edge tech you absolutely must master to protect these networks.
If you take away literally just one concept from this entire explainer, please make it this one. Zero Trust Architecture is a modern security framework requiring all users, whether inside or outside the organization's network, to be continuously authenticated, authorized, and validated. The core philosophy here is simple, yet brutal. Never trust, always verify. It doesn't matter if it's the CEO logging in from their home office or an entry-level assistant in a totally different time zone. The system assumes every single access request is a potential breach. This framework is the absolute, non-negotiable foundation of current market security. Simply put, if you are building on a zero-trust model, you're building your house on sand.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how these three equal pillars come together to create your ultimate remote security arsenal. First up, we have the zero trust architectures we literally just talked about. The second piece is decentralized identity verification. We are finally moving away from that single, highly hackable password database to multi-factor biometrically verified identities. And the third piece? Automated threat detection platforms. Why? Because human reaction times just aren't fast enough to stop modern AI-driven cyber attacks anymore. We have to rely on automated systems monitoring network behavior 24/7, instantly isolating anomalies before they turn into full-blown breaches. Mastering these three dominating platforms, that is exactly what separates a total amateur from a highly paid security architect. All right, moving on to Section 3, the client security audit workflow. Let's shift from the theory directly into the practical execution blueprint you'll actually use for your clients. So the crucial point is that having a repeatable, professional standard of procedure is everything. This three-step blueprint is your exact roadmap for locking down any client's digital workspace. Step 1, audit their infrastructure. You've got to map out every single device, cloud app, and network connection their team uses. You are actively hunting for their blind spots. Step 2, secure those vulnerable endpoints. Once you've mapped everything out, you deploy the zero trust tools to those scattered laptops, phones, tablets, ensuring strict authentication across the board. Step 3, implement robust data privacy protocols. This means encrypting sensitive info both in transit and at rest, plus making sure they're fully compliant with global data protection regulations. If you confidently execute these three steps, you are providing immense, completely measurable value to any enterprise. And providing that value leads us right into Section 4, securing high-ticket enterprise contracts. Let's pivot to monetization. Let's move to and see how this builds your income, because knowing the tech is only half the battle. Knowing how to package it,
That's what builds a bulletproof freelance career. Check out the stark contrast in these service types. A basic one-off audit gives them a single infrastructure check for a one-time fee. And hey, it's fine for getting your foot in the door, but it keeps you constantly hunting for the next gig. You don't want that. The ultimate goal is the high-ticket monthly retainer. By offering continuous remote protection and automated detection, you're solving a permanent problem for the enterprise, and that easily justifies recurring high-ticket income. You basically transition from being just a temporary contractor to an indispensable integrated security partner. It's a total game changer.
Finally, Section 5, your first simulated security audit. It's time to step into the role of the auditor right now.
This is a super actionable, step-by-step exercise so you can safely practice these skills before ever touching real enterprise data. I strongly encourage you to set this up today. Step 1. Deploy a simulated remote workstation environment. Just use virtual machines to mock up a standard remote employee's laptop. Step 2. Execute an initial security audit on that primary endpoint. Run your diagnostic tools on the VM. Hunt for open ports, outdated software, weak access controls. Step 3. Flag vulnerabilities using zero trust parameters. Basically ask yourself, would this machine pass the never trust, always verify test? If a prompt triggered, would the system actually block unauthorized access? Running this simulation builds the exact muscle memory you need to execute flawlessly when the stakes are real. You've completely got this.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to really consider the reality of the market heading into next year. The 2027 digital economy is completely zero trust. Enterprises are adapting or they are failing. So the provocative question I'll leave you with is, are you? Are you upgrading your skills to meet this massive demand, or are you still relying on outdated freelance models? Take the leap, run your simulation, and go secure your future in the global market.